This is Monocle on Design Extra. It's a short show to accompany our weekly programme where we discuss everything from architecture and craft to furniture and fashion. I'm Maylie Evans. Now, this week we're sharing highlights from the recent 3 Days of Design festival over in Copenhagen. Amongst the lineup was a collaboration between the Japanese lifestyle brand Koyori, the designer Michael Anastassiades, and the Danish design studio GamFratesi. Co-founders Enrico Fratesi and Stina are both architects turned industrial and furniture designers. Monocle's design editor Nick Moniz caught up with the duo at their installation to discuss their new furniture pieces, as well as the exhibition environment they'd created.
When we start to design the space, we are in the same space of the last year, but we wanted to have a completely different and new approach to the visitors coming in the space. Koyori means twisted paper in Japanese, so the paper was a material that was somehow connected to the company. And another important part in the company is to try to reflect peaceful atmosphere, calm, minimalism in the space. Immediately we came in mind with the Japanese lantern to create a room in a room. So in that case, the visitors enter and they find this peaceful space, very white, soft carpet, and then they can enjoy the new collection while experience a moment of calm into the 3 Days of Design.
When we create the space with the lanterns, the thing that we play with the repetition, so it's more like an installation, it's becoming like walls. So it's kind of becoming very calm because you just want to make the products come out, right? The products are so rich in itself, but they're also very calm and peaceful somehow. So you can't give them enough attention somehow. So it's more like to make a scenery for them to be the characters.
Let's wander over to some of the new product. So this Meowie chair, tell us about how this piece actually evolved, because it is inspired by something you've worked on previously, or is it an extrapolation of that?
Oh, the Meow chair first came out last year as a dining version. And this year we are launching the new version, which is a lounge chair. Same concept and same design. It's scaled and it's more comfortable, it's larger, it's lower. But I think the concept of the chair and the name of the chair is because they have this small detail on the front of the arm, which is where you always caress with your fingers. So it was a little bit like when you have the cat's ear, which is the softest part of the cat, and you always go like this and it's calming you down. So it's very nice when you sit in a chair to have this kind of reference.
Are these the sort of moments that you draw inspiration from? Tell us a little bit about the process and I guess the conception of this joint.
When you look at the chair, it's extremely like having the beautiness of craftsmanship and material, which is very related to the Danish tradition. In somehow, we can say the Italian approach to product is always to have a concept behind.
It's not that we're especially inspired by pets at all, but it's more like sometimes you get this feeling about something and you have this maybe more like a behavior and you think, what do you do with this part of the chair? And it's where you touch the most, and then suddenly you get a reference and that can lead you to detail.
Tell us a little bit about the manufacturers and the factories that you work with. What's the relationship? Are you bringing a prototype to them and they're working out how it can work at scale? What's that back and forth?
In this case, it was a little bit particular because we got a specific invitation from Koyori at the first time. That was actually right before COVID. So we were supposed to go there, but then everything locked down. And we actually just didn't really make new collaborations in that period because it was so difficult to meet. But this was just so lovely. I think we had to accept it. So it was not possible to go the first year to meet them and to see the factories. But we had very great meetings, anyway, very long meetings. And they, of course, sent pieces back and forward. And in that time of the moment we just created, the Meow chair was the first one. I remember when we received the first prototype after something like 6 months, it was just perfect. They were so respectful to all drawings, to all our hopes and wishes, so that was amazing.
We're doing a little walking tour of the space.
Yeah, that's the Ida chair, which was launched in the first launch, but it's actually just ready today because it was so challenging. This construction, everything is plywood, so it's almost like an hammock because it's actually flying on the structure, which is also plywood. And they said it was the most challenging chair they've ever done. And just yesterday they told us that they finished all the alphabet for naming all the prototypes, but now it's there and now you can sit on it and it's fantastic.
You're very busy at the moment. We were talking about this. You've got a well-deserved summer holiday coming up. Working on these chairs and tables, what's the takeaways, or are there any key moments that you're going to bring into your practice and your work with other brands and with other interiors? Is there something you've learned from this collaboration that you can throw forward?
I really like the variety of the collaboration. I would say when we accept a new collaboration is because somehow there is a new challenge. There is a new possibility to explore a material or a technique. Sometimes even to work with different nationalities, work with different manufacturers, we also with different perspective. That helps us to be always like continuously a research in our studio with our philosophy in a new way. Doesn't matter if it's a small company or if it's a very big company, it's very interesting what this one can bring to us in a new exploration. And in case of Koyori, of course, it was the first time working in Japan in such a production and then working with the wood, with that craftsmanship. So it was indeed a very interesting collaboration for us.
When we get an invitation, somehow we never try to do like a manifesto of ourselves. It's not like our studio expressing only, it's always a collaboration. We always try to analyze first who's the company, what are the skills, and then we can add our part and they can add their part. And that's, I think, what it's all about. Whatever comes, you can make it interesting when you have a good relationship, right?
Stina Gam and Enrico Fratesi of the Copenhagen-based design studio GamFratesi. They were in conversation with Monocle's design editor, Nick Moniz. That's all for this week. If you're eager for more design stories, then listen to our main programme, Monocle on Design. That airs on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. London time. Or if you prefer print, you can pick up a copy of Monocle magazine. It's available on all good newsstands now. Today's episode was produced by me, Maylie Evans, with help from Steph Chungu. Thanks for listening.